In a normie world where two slider scare actors, Skunk and Napalm, talk about their love for the industry, how they became involved, character development, names, and everything you'd want to know within the haunt industry. Guest stars, makeup, and more seen from the average actor's point of view. For those with a love for horror, scare acting, haunted houses, SFX, or just wanting some background noise, we have it all. Welcome to the shit show, fuckers. Buckle up for this sparky ride.
Welcome to the Slider Cast. This is our first episode, and I'm your host, Skunk.
I'm your co-host, Napalm.
We plan on getting video feeds set up in the future for episodes, but currently we're still learning how all this podcast stuff works, as you could hear from the first little snippet, or if it goes towards the end, where it truly is a shit show trying to get this thing rolling, but basically just like back in the day when we were learning how to slide and how scare acting and all that started up, but that's what we're going to talk about today, is just rewind everything and how things got started for the two of us back from when we were childhood all the way up to modern day.
Yeah, little baby Skunk and Napalm.
Oh yeah. So I would say first haunt events when you're a childhood, I'd say Halloween is pretty much the starting point for everyone. You know, if you get to dress up and be monsters, and it's kind of your first eye-opening awakening to the whole culture, even though it's not as, the haunt community is not as mainstream as Halloween, but you're seen as a little bit weird in the haunt community versus Halloween. But, kind of, what got you into doing scare acting, or wanted to pursue going to haunts or Kings Island, as a kid, Napalm?
I mean, really, it all started trick-or-treating. I mean, growing up, Dad always used to dress us up in these goofy costumes, and we all walked the city block trick-or-treating, and I wasn't big into knocking on doors and trying to get candy. I was more into let's scare the other kids walking down the sidewalk. So each year I just begged Dad, hey, can we make my makeup better, or can we do this, or can we go here? And really I started going to the Lewisburg Haunted Caves. I mean, going there as a kid, scared shitless.
Oh, those are pretty sick. Being down in the cave with the massive decline.
Yeah, just like the initial walk down into the cave. And back in the day, they used to have actors like in the queue lines and out in the parking lot. And like me, I was scared, but I was like, I'm ready to go. I wanted to go see this stuff. But like my brothers and my friends I brought with me, they were all chickened out. I was like, I'm going through this cave by myself, just me and my dad. So that really, just seeing the way the actors interacted with the guests and seeing the guest reactions like sparked something in me to want to pursue this whenever I got of age.
I remember we went there a couple years ago. I think it was about 2 years ago at this point, going to the Lewisburg Haunted Caves.
Oh
and
shit, that was fun.
It was storming so much that night. And this thing, you gotta think, like the way to get into this cave, it is string lights on the wall, basically like an old mine shaft it looks like. And it's a pretty good drop. It's probably like a 50-degree angle, something like that.
Oh, and it's
very slick.
It's in the mud.
It turned into a slip and slide. People are slipping, busting their asses, going all the way down that thing. It's crazy. We just decided to fuck around the whole time we were there. I mean, we got down our asses, and we were sliding all the way down that thing, just screaming. And every single person that was in the queue line was absolutely terrified of us. They knew the night was going to be quite eventful, and I'll tell you what, it pretty much was. I think
that was a blast.
Oh yeah, I think we left a mark on the guests that were there, and as well as the employees. They absolutely hated us.
Yeah, that happens.
Walking through the caves, acting like monkeys, screaming, hooting, and hollering, and we made them well aware that we were all scare actors as well, and
we were just trying to up their energy, trying to help them have a little bit more better of a night. They were slow. We were just trying to help them out. I know how them slow nights are, and it kind of just turns into why am I here? But whenever you love what we do, then it's no longer why am I here? It's what can we do to have fun and make everybody else happy and have a great time.
You gotta love always seeing other scare actors coming through your haunts and them just knowing what all you go through and trying their best to make your night better. Even if they're not part of your haunt, then it's all a family. We went to a place that just shut down recently, a haunt called Nightmare on Edgewood, I believe it was called, or Elmwood, something like that. Big warehouse in Indianapolis, and one of the things that their founders said when they had all sorts of haunts invited there, and everyone was partying on their last night was, this is a family of freaks, and we're all proud to be it. So, I mean,
that's facts.
Going out to all these different haunts and, showing support for each other, it's all part of the love and all part of the haunt community. And, back in the day growing up, I didn't realize how big the haunt community actually was. You got all sorts of conventions going on. You got the Ohio Haunters Association. They just started up a new haunt up in Blood Prison. It's actually happening this weekend. It's May 8th right now. So honestly, I think it starts today.
I think it's today or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going pretty good for them, but I hope that they prosper with that and that it goes good for them. Always being a first-time event, it's very hard, especially, an event that big. I'm sure the turnout's great, though. And the weather looks like it's pretty good, too, for them. So.
Good weather, yeah.
But
so let's take it back to your side. What got you started in all this?
Yeah, I'd say, growing up during Halloween and everything, same thing, getting to dress up as a monster and go out there and scare people. But what really got it for me was the older kids. As a kid, you get your store-bought costumes from all the Halloween stores, Spirit Halloween, of course, and, just getting the basic costume, but always wanting more and always wanting it to be cooler in some way or makeup to be better. And seeing those older kids that, went out with their own money and were buying some crazy costumes out there, or even the adults, decorating their houses in full Halloween decorations, just going crazy with it, it opened my eyes towards it. And I'd always wanted to do scare acting. Working at Kings Island was one of my first jobs, and as a ride operator over there. But you know how amusement parks haunts are. Every October season they start up, and it looks like a blast going around getting paid to scare kids, dress up in these crazy costumes. And who wouldn't want to do that, if you were into that stuff?
Got my attention,
just out there, and seeing that just took me into opening my eyes and giving it a try. And I will say, the first time that I tried out or that I auditioned for scare acting, I didn't think it was going to be for me, honestly. I went into that audition room on day one, and I didn't really think that I was a right fit, just based on myself and the people that were there. A lot of theater kids and all that. I was never part of that growing up. Never wanted to be part of that growing up. Thought scare acting wasn't really going to go as planned. I thought I was going to quit in the first week, and then I'm still doing it to this day. And that was about, I can't even tell you, probably about 5 years ago now at this point. So over to Napalm, how was it when you were first auditioning? Having that first initial thoughts on it, since we're both kind of a similar background, not really fitting into your stereotypical mold of a drama kid.
Yeah, auditions. That's a lovely fucking topic. Growing up, I was that shy kid. I was not outgoing. I didn't want to be the center of attention. I didn't even want to be in front of a crowd. So I don't know what really spoke to me on the inside to go to this audition, but one day I seen the Facebook ad of, hey, Kings Island's doing auditions. And I went and walked in that room watching. Because when I auditioned, it's a little different from when you auditioned. But when I auditioned, you auditioned and everybody could see you. Everybody can hear you. Only person that can't see you is who's doing
the evaluations and all
evaluation. So I go in there and there's 50, 60 people sitting in these chairs, and then my name gets called, and my heart kind of sinks because I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't researched any of this.
Oh, it's crazy. You just went out and just did it on a limb.
Yeah, it was on a limb. And I was like, if I get the job, great. Don't get it, great. Like I don't think anything of this job. I never was a theater kid. I didn't know I was going to get to this point. So I went back there, and he started asking me some basic questions that you hear in an interview, like how'd you hear about us and what's your strengths and weaknesses and stuff. And then he starts asking me to do these gestures and
the improv
and all these certain things that I was not prepared for. So I've learned now that it's best just to kind of take a breath real fast, close your eyes, and just let go from reality and just do it. And that's what I did. And I mean, here I am almost going in 9 years later, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I am beyond happy that I walked into that audition that day. Happy whatever spoke to me inside my head is like, hey, go do this. This is going to be a lot of fun. And that's pretty much it. I mean, how did you feel going into your first audition? Because I know you weren't a theater kid or...
Yeah. I was pretty terrified, honestly. Touching back on, not being the drama kid and having that upbringing, thought it was, I had the similar feeling. I didn't think I was going to make it, but didn't really care at the time. I thought it'd just be something fun to do. And I mean, ever since a kid being hyperactive and shit, I kind of had that. But, it's completely different having to do that in front of other people, especially how big those auditions are. I mean...
We're going to a park of 50,000 people a night, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, if you've never been to a audition like that for a major park, like an amusement park, for example, it's pretty intimidating, not going to lie, having all these people there that want to do your same role and not knowing if you're going to make it or not even knowing if you want to do this, and then, being pulled into a room that you have no idea what to expect, and someone tells you to just do some improv and scream as loud as you possibly can, is quite embarrassing in the beginning. And if you can't, dig into yourself and find that, then it's not going to be a good fit for you. Unfortunately, to say, we've seen so many people that just thought that they could do it and haven't, and then we've seen so many people that thought that they didn't have it, and they ended up being some of the best scare actors that we've ever worked with. But just being able to reach down inside and bring out that inner energy, I think is the most important thing that still to this day that we still like to use. I mean, even when we're out on the street, doing what we do now, we got to bring every ounce of energy out on us, and it makes a good guest experience, and it is what you make it is the most important thing about it. So just trying to stick to those core values of not really caring the situation that you're in, and you're doing it for yourself and to have a good time, and you're just doing a character. It's not who you actually are. I think is something that a lot of new actors struggle with, me especially. That character development that goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, I still to this day am struggling to finish my character, but is the character ever really done? Like, I don't think it is. And to the people out there that are questioning, should I try to be a scare actor? Should I audition to be a scare actor? I say do it. I say
absolutely.
Fucking do it. Because I went from that kid who sat in the corner of the classroom, didn't want to talk to nobody, and wasn't outgoing, to now I will do anything and I will talk to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
That's why me and Matt want to start this stuff up now.
Yeah, and I mean...
It's opened us up as people, and you meet so many cool and other people that you wouldn't think you'd be friends with. And
yeah, people of completely different groups. I've had the privilege, and Napalm's had the privilege as well, to kind of go out and go to some new haunts and meet some new people, some first-time scare actors that, they've never done this before. They didn't know what to expect back in our shoes. And, every time I tell them, it's going to be a familiar situation in some cases, and in other cases it's not. And especially the people that you work with, there's people that you're going to meet that are going to become your brothers and sisters that you otherwise would have never met or ever thought would be as close to you as they are. And especially with people, different types of social classes. For example, if you're a popular kid and you've got the class nerd or something, people like that we see all the time. They become best friends and like brothers in a community like this where otherwise they wouldn't have. I mean, Brett, Firefly, they call her, she's over managing a new haunt that just started up recently. And she was kind of a mentor to Napalm and I when we had gone into the sliding community. But I've helped her over at her new haunt with some of these new actors, and there's a guy, college football player, varsity and everything, coming in trying it out, and there's some pretty nerdy guys that were there, and girls as well. And dude, in the beginning he said that he's coming in with an open mind, but he wasn't really expecting much of it. And I told him Napalm and I came from a similar background in that type of social class, and didn't really think much of it, and then ended up having a family of just the most random, crazy, dysfunctional people that you could ever pretty much assemble into a friend group.
I mean, it's pretty much put your seatbelt on, kids, and hold on, because this ride you're about to join is going to be a wild ride.
Oh, yeah. It's worth every second of it.
and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh, I wouldn't either. I've told so many people, you know, when I worked in the rides, to just give scare acting a try. They were all on the fence about doing it. Told every single one of them, about 8 people, and every single one of them still do it. Either, you know, they're still doing it now, or they had to leave due to, you know, moving on to college and other things, or other situations that prevented them from doing it. But every single one of them wishes that they could continue doing that. So, I mean, if you're on the fence about joining or considering it, I'd say just do it. You know, most places you can even join for a week. That's what I told people all the time. I said, you know, with us working in an amusement park, they need all sorts of people, and, you know, it's voluntary. It's a voluntary job, you know, at the end of the day. So if you don't like it, you can give it up, and it's no skin off your back for at least trying it. And I'd recommend it, because you never know what you're going to miss out on that.
Yeah, I mean, he said it. You know, whenever you came in to auditions and, like, you got the job,
Yeah.
they gave you your position. Like, did you come in not knowing anybody, or did you come in with, like, you had friends that were doing it?
Oh, I knew no one who did it. I had 0 connections. I was as bare as they could possibly get, honestly. And I wanted to be a clown, and, you know, with as popular clowns are in the fear community and the haunt and all that, I thought for sure I wasn't going to get the position. They wanted me to be something entirely different instead of a clown, and I told them, hey man, I want to be a clown. I've got the energy for being a clown. I can bounce off these walls and all sorts of shit, and it ended up working out. And, you know, back then in our community, the clowns weren't really well known or anything until kind of Napalm, and our community of friends joined that we all didn't know each other back then, but we worked with each other for, what was it, about
We did
2 years, I believe.
2 years in the old Coney Mall.
Yeah, and we were all brand new. Like, half our zone was brand new, didn't know each other, and, you know, some people came from other backgrounds, other people it was their first time. And, you know, I know Napalm has a long history of roles and characters before
9 years
Kenny.
of them.
Yeah. And then you got me over there, who was a first time haunt, you know, first time roamer and everything. I got lucky. Usually they put people inside a scare house for your first 2 years, but I was a new breed, I guess. I came in and came right out on the street and had all these veteran scare actors to kind of guide me. And I was fortunate to have Napalm with his 6 characters or whatever it was that he's had ever since the back of the day.
There was like 3 of them before I joined Coney, but, you know.
What kind of characters do you have, or haunts were you working for?
So, like, high school. We'll go back to high school before I started.
Winding way back.
Yeah, we'll go back before I started at the old KI. There was a little home haunt that we did for one of our classes, and, you know, there wasn't many people signing up, and I was like, you know, like, I'm interested. So I went home and talked to my dad about it. My mom and dad were like, yeah, we think you should do it. So I go to this home haunt that is, you know, just very raggedy. It's a tractor and a wagon and a bunch of high school kids running around the woods dressed up as whatever. No theming, no plan.
How it usually goes, I feel
yeah,
like.
it was sketchy. Well, that's the word I'm looking for, sketchy. So I go in and you know, balls to the wall. I'm doing my makeup up and everything, and then I walk in and all my classmates are kind of not really taking it serious like I thought they would. So, you know, we do the night, and I'm running through the woods like a madman, and my classmates are not really keeping up with the energy. So I kind of, my mind, I'm like, all right, well, I need to go somewhere to people that will match my energy.
Got to let loose.
Pretty much. So, you know, I went to KI, did my auditions, and my first role was a werewolf in Wolfpack.
Of course it was.
R.I.P. Wolfpack.
Wolfpack's dead, for those who don't know. That thing is scrapped and long gone.
She's gone. Yeah, so, I mean, that was a great time. I mean, I was excited, nervous. Night 1, I walked in, you know, didn't know anybody. Didn't really talk to nobody still. And, ended up meeting a guy named Wes. And
Wes
Kirby kind of took me under his wing on some things, and he kind of showed me the ropes, because, you know, I feel like he's been at the park forever.
Oh, he's been there a minute.
Like, I don't think there's been a time that I can tell you that he hasn't been at the park. So Wes and me, he trained me my whole first year. We got into a little bit of trouble, but, you know.
As usual. I feel like if you're not getting in trouble your first year, you're doing something wrong, I feel like.
Right, so, so he ended up naming my first character Rot. Which made no sense because I wore a green blazer with targets on the back. in a werewolf mask, which I lucked out for my first year because I seen some of the other masks, you know, and
I will say some of those were bad.
They were not the best, but I lucked out and got a brand new one. You know, the jaw moved and it actually fit. That's what I was worried about because like I didn't want to be a victim because I didn't know how to be a victim at the time, and I wanted a mask so it kind of hides my
your face and everything, makes you a little
yeah.
more comfortable.
So yeah, you know, year goes on, and me and Wes are causing a lot of problems and raising hell, and I mean we're following the rules to an extent. And you know, one day Wes comes up to me. This is when we're over in the theater, and he's like, "Hey, you ever wore knee pads?"
Oh.
And no, Wes, no, I have not. He's like, "Well, put these on." So we put them on, you know, and then opening comes, and about 3 hours in, me and Wes get pulled to the side. What Wes didn't tell me about these knee pads are that these were the Sliders knee pads at Kings Island. And, Holly.
Big manager back then.
Pulled me to the side and politely told me to take my knee pads off. That I was not trained and qualified to have them on.
You don't want to get those not cools.
Definitely got a not cool for that one. Definitely got a not cool for that one. But luckily I had Wes there, and he kind of explained that it was more of him, and I didn't know better.
You got dragged into it, yeah.
So kind of Wes had my back on that, and yeah, that's how me and Wes really connected after, I mean, that was weekend 3 of the run.
That was pretty short, yeah.
Yeah, and ever since that day, I don't know why, and I really hope she continues to love me, but Holly loves me. And, you know.
Holly loves me as well. In case Holly stumbles across this podcast.
Yeah, Holly, if you're listening, we love you.
We need you back as Haunt One, Holly. Please.
Yeah, we need. You back as Haunt One. You know, and that pretty much wraps up. I didn't know banquet was a thing. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't go my first year of the banquet, which I kind of regret not going to. But
yeah,
you know,
banquet's crazy.
I was still in that kind of mind frame of I don't want to talk to nobody, and I think these people are weird. Yeah. And then year 2 rolls around. Yep. Old chaos.
Oh, chaos maze. And the chaos, that's the science one, isn't it?
Yeah, science and experiment gone wrong and aliens and
demons, whatever they got in there.
Not really sure of the ending at the time of year 1. All I know is I was talked into, cause I wanted streets. I wanted to go to streets.
Yeah.
But I go into audition year 2 and I get talked into going into another house.
Unlike me.
Shut up, you little shit. You lucky ass. So yeah, year 2's in the house, and it is in a building that has no AC and no heat. So when it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold, it's cold.
Whew.
And
couldn't be me.
Yeah. Luckily that year I met some cool people. Braden White. Shout out Braden White. Met him that year. That was his first year. Jesse York.
Yeah, I heard you had some beef with Jesse back then, and
yeah, because year 2 I came in as that sophomore, junior in high school, somewhere in there, as that cocky kid of like, I'm not gonna take nobody's shit, and Jesse was just trying to be my friend at the time, and I was being a dick. So yeah, me and I was not really a fan of Jesse of that year.
Which, ironically enough, you know, you
now me and Jesse
through the years, yeah.
Right now, me and Jesse are close as shit. Like, yeah, you know, I kind of humbled myself on some things, and like me and Jesse talked some things out, and we're best fucking friends now. Like,
yeah, it's like we were saying before, you know, you never know who you're gonna meet or
come in
who
with
you're
an
gonna
open
stick
mind.
with.
Yeah, come in with an open mind, because that second year I definitely did not come in with an open mind. But yeah. So we go through chaos. We did a whole run of chaos, and the final weekend I came in with a broken foot.
Oof.
I shattered my foot in half at a concert.
I couldn't imagine working on that. Doing
It
with that.
was a blast. We'll get into more chaos stories in other episodes, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, all these houses and areas I've worked in, I got stories for days of stuff that I should be doing. Should be doing.
Yes.
Came in with my broken foot last weekend. Luckily, I had a solid crew, and they kind of picked up my slack that weekend, because I don't know about you, but when I get going,
oh yeah,
my energy is kind of not really controllable, and
through the roof.
You stick me in a room, I don't stay in a room.
Now something that pings off of for me is our liquid meth. Great stuff, let me tell you. Liquid meth. No, it's not.
For the record,
it's not.
For the record, it is not actual.
It is not actual
meth.
meth. We'll make that one clear.
Yeah. It's a concoction of energy drinks and pre-workout and lemonade and
Gatorade
Powerade
as well. Yeah.
You gotta
Powerade,
get the
whatever you
electrolytes,
got,
stay
you know.
hydrated.
Yeah.
Which takes me to my side note of drink water, people.
Yes.
Drink water.
Stay hydrated for sure.
But yeah, where did I leave off? Oh, Chaos. Where did I leave? Had a good crew, and they talked me into going to Banquet.
Banquet's a great time. What was your first opinion or first impression of Banquet when you first
Walking
went there?
into Banquet, I didn't know what Kill Bills were. I didn't know how they worked.
Yeah.
I'm seeing all these people, but not in costume for the first time.
Yeah.
Usually when you see everybody,
It's weird.
everybody's in character or in makeup when you first see them. And
Yeah.
seeing all these people not in costume, that's kind of what woke me up. Like, hey, these are normal people. Let's go.
It's crazy how you learn the character before the actual person themselves.
Oh, that's like, for the first 3 years, people didn't know me outside of makeup. I would walk in and talk to people, and like, we don't know you. And the moment they see me in my mask or my makeup, they know exactly who I was.
You can walk straight past me. I mean, even still to this day, you know,
No,
there's
still,
people that don't even know who we are outside of makeup. You know, we can walk straight past them, and they have absolutely no idea who we are.
I mean, that's what I'm like. Yeah, like I have been there. Just if this year when we return, it'd be my 9th year, and there's still people there who've been there longer than me or haven't been there longer. I mean, they still don't know who I am. But I'm not there for the
publicity
or the popularity. It's there to do my job, hang out with my friends, meet new people.
Facts.
You know, this is like, it's not a job for me no more. It's
just fun. You know, it's
fun.
a hangout.
As a lifestyle, like, if I could do this full time, I would.
And you get paid for it, too.
Yeah, but going back to Banquet, super cool. Like, going in, the music's blaring, food's good, food's really good.
They got so much food at Banquet.
If you know anything about me and, Skunk over here, we can put it away.
Oh, yeah.
Put it down. And they cater in food, and, towards the end of the season, me and Jesse talked more, and, sat by Jesse and everything. I ended up winning my first MVP. Didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
that was nerve-wracking, like going up on the stage and they call your name out and everything, give you an award. But yeah,
in front of everyone,
in front of the whole park.
Yeah,
in front of all the actors. So, I mean, that was very, very honored to receive that, and yeah, I wasn't expecting that to happen,
especially so early.
Yeah, so let's take a break from me for a moment. Let's go to your first year in Coney Mall.
Oh,
your first year acting.
My first year ever acting.
Let's before season. Let's go to dry run tonight.
Oh boy.
We are forced to act without makeup or costumes.
The funny thing about that. So, if you know anything about Kings Island, or if you don't, or amusement park haunts in general, you know, as most places do, they have dry run nights, which are, you know, you either go out there. Most nights you're out there, you know, no makeup, no costume. You're learning your area, kind of learning the ropes from some of the veteran people and whatnot. And it's really important stuff if you're there for it.
You know, let's say training on. Let's start with safety.
Yeah. So the funny thing about that one is, you know, usually with Kings Island, I believe it's about 3 to 4 nights of dry run that you kind of get.
Depends on the area.
Yeah, depends on the area. Yeah. And you know, the final dry run night is like a preview night, you know, employees only, and you know, you're in costume and makeup, kind of running it like the real deal, but not quite. It's kind of like a halfway type of situation. But the fun thing about me, my first year in Coney Mall, is my first night acting was actually opening night of Haunt.
No, didn't get no.
I did
employee preview night.
Yeah,
he just comes straight and open at night, walks in like he owns the
place. I got no
training,
training, no nothing. I was so late on getting hired as a clown, and you know, touching back on what I said before with not really knowing I was going to be a clown and everything. Napalm's jealous of that one, you know, being on the street.
I did my years in the house.
He did his time.
He came straight to the streets.
I was fresh blood, fresh meat, straight on the streets,
Lucky
no experience.
Shit. You know, I'm happy that you were.
Yeah, I'm happy I got in when I did, for sure.
The first year streets, because at
I
that
don't know
point,
what would have happened, you know.
I wasn't really talking. I didn't know it. I was What year was that for me? Year 4? when
Yeah.
I joined Coney? Yeah, I still didn't know a lot of people. And
I think you and I, brought everyone out that year out of their shells and kind of made Coney really what it was. Because, I mean, up until that point, Coney was, no one really cared about it. It was seen as a backhand, like a second-hand freak street, if you've ever been to Fear Fest back in the day. The old early 2010s and everything, Freak Street, you had Carnival, like back in its peak with clowns, and kind of after that all kind of got rid of and torn down, then it became Coney Mall, where they just put the clowns, and no one really wanted to deal with it anymore, or wanted to be that, because it wasn't what it used to be. But, Napalm and I kind of revived that.
You can throw old Brett in there, too.
And old Brett,
she's the one that kind of made this little friendship we got. You can call it romance, you know what I mean? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
No, she kind of introduced us to each other, even though she didn't know us. Like, she kind of...
We didn't really talk to each other very much, and we had this about 5'2" gremlin that, talks really loud and screams, and, you make her mad, she will make it known, She's a little flying squirrel to come and attack your shit.
Hey, love you, little sis. Shout out, little sis.
But, yeah, I mean, she brought us together. She grabbed the two of us, and she was like, "I claim the both of you now." And then
she
we
never
started
really
a little
left.
Trio. Yeah, she
never really left.
She kind of never left, and
then she
never left us alone. So we kind of got stuck.
You're kind of stuck with a little gremlin.
Yeah.
But go back to your around. My bad. I get a little sidetracked.
But yeah, having zero training and being thrown out onto a real haunt night. I remember, I was in the changing room getting my costume on for the very first time. It did not fit at all.
Typical.
Usually, you're supposed to have a costume fitting and everything before dry runs even happen.
When you walk in, opening night, you mean.
And, I didn't get that. So I grabbed some suspenders, tucked in my shirt as best as I could, and held those pants up as high as I possibly could. And, I walk outside, and my mother's calling me in the changing stall at the same time, and she's like, "When are you going to be home for dinner?" And I was like, "I don't know, let me ask." And I pop open the door after getting dressed, and I ask Holly. She's standing right there before I knew her, and I'm like, "Miss Holly, when is this over? When am I going home? This is only supposed to be about an hour, right?" And she looks at me so confused, and she was like, "Oh, sweetheart, this is opening night. You ain't going home until 1 in the morning."
Yeah, because back then we didn't close till 1, I don't think.
Yeah, and I was beside myself. I got back on the phone real quick, and I was like, I guess it's opening night. I'm getting thrown into the fire. So starting from there,
you mixed that date up.
Oh yeah, I was at a big disadvantage because all these guys, had been training with each other and everything for about a week, and I show up and they literally look at me and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
My exact thoughts are like, "Who the hell?"
Came out of nowhere. No one knew who I was. No training. I was raw dogging it as hard as you could. And you gotta think all these guys start on the streets after going through scare houses and everything, proper training for years, and I'm just out there, just fucking dick hanging, just ready to go, man. Like I didn't know how to act. I didn't know anything, and right as soon as we hit the street, I immediately started screeching and chasing after probably about like a 12-year-old boy, and just asking if he wanted to play with me in my big white van. That's how we got the ball rolling ever since then. And been Coney for 2 years with Napalm, and really started to bond over that.
Wild 2 years in Coney Mall
until we moved on to our next phase, and that was getting into the sliders. And if you don't know much about amusement park sliders, they're top of the food chain over there. Everyone wants to kind of be a slider, and experiencing sliding for your first time, it's something that's kind of eye-opening as a role over there, because it's something you wouldn't really expect to be there. But I feel like most people, as soon as you see it, you kind of fall in love with it. And Napalm, what was your first impression on that on sliders when you first saw them? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I am at the park with a bunch of my friends, and they're we're 8th graders at this point. This is before I even thought about acting. I walk in, trying to impress the girls. I ain't scared.
Yeah, of course.
Out of nowhere, we go through the whole night pretty much. We go in a couple houses. I ain't scared. You know, the typical. They're at that age group.
Typical teenager.
Yeah,
you know,
typical teen. I'm
top
not
of the
scared.
world.
Yep, pretty much. Like, ain't nothing gonna scare me.
No.
And we're up by I Street, and out of nowhere, through the fog, I hear this. Well, now I love the noise, but at the time I didn't know what the hell it was.
Oh yeah.
Set of knee pads going across the ground.
You hear that scratching coming for you.
Yep, pretty much. And I'm seeing this man gliding about waist height, which, if you know anything about sliders, they come up from the ground. So seeing someone that is
set a top down,
6 foot coming up off the ground below me, and I mean I'm a little short guy at the time, and it scared the shit out of me. And then what topped it off is he slid into a handstand.
Yeah, that's
so he
crazy.
slid from a slide into a handstand, and then proceeds to have a conversation with me, and so said handstand. And at that point, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I will looked at him. I want to be you. I want to do this. And at the time, I didn't know sliders were worldwide. I didn't know they were California, China.
Yeah, just how big they were.
I didn't know how big they were. I thought it was just a Kings Island thing, but no, it's a very large thing. And seeing a slider for the first time kind of changes you, and it's almost like a magic trick. Is the best way I can describe it. Yeah. It's how are you doing that, and how can I do it? Exactly.
How can I build that? That's the question that we always get asked. Is slider gear. How to build your slider gear and what goes into it, and how hard it actually is being a slider. But that'll be for a future episode when we do a big deep dive kind of into behind the scenes of sliders and kind of getting into that for the first time. A little bit of what we did to get to that point, and types of trainings that Napalm and I went out and did ourselves before we really knew much of anything on how it was actually going to go, and then developing into the characters that we are now in our current roles as sliders. Napalm and I over at Kings Island were the head trainers, along with the old Jay Lewis Hollywood on Instagram, if you want to follow him. Hollywood Slider.
Shout out Jay.
Shout out Jay. And
talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it. Jay Cannon. And
let's take a break from sliding real fast. We'll get into more. We have an episode planned for all sliding.
Later on. We got so much to dig into.
Let's go back to Coney. Okay. Let's go. What was your favorite scare in Coney?
Ooh.
Or your,
sniffing people. I absolutely love smelling people.
Do you have a certain one that stands out, though?
A certain scare. Making people uncomfortable, I guess, just as a whole. There's plenty of ways to do it.
So
but
there's not one scare
you
can
really
think of
scary,
where you can hey, I did this to this person and this person to that person?
Yeah. I'd say overarching with that.
Let's go overall.
Overall.
Is there a certain scare that you've done to somebody that has stood out in your mind? It can be as me and you putting people into bushes.
Yeah.
It can be trying to put people into the rolling trash cans.
Yeah.
To just something. What's been your favorite?
I would say it wasn't necessarily a scare, but
it can be a scare. It can be a fail. It can be something funny. It don't have to be, just a scare.
I'd say
one of your favorite moments out on the streets.
I'd say one of our best moments had to be the wheelchair lady. I can't get over that wheelchair lady. You got to think, going to a haunt and everything.
To give them the details.
I'll go
into the nitty gritty on this wheelchair lady.
Oh yeah. So every haunt you go to and whatnot, you've got the handicapped people, and we love handicapped people. Don't get me wrong.
We love all people.
We love all people.
We don't discriminate. We love all people.
We love all people.
You come into the park and you ain't got a no bill on it. It's free game.
It's free game.
You're
getting it. If I can scare you, it is going to happen.
Don't get upset.
And I would say my favorite Kings Island moment. I'll put it that way. I'd say favorite Kings Island moment was definitely a wheelchair lady. We try, Napalm and I especially. We try to make it a fun time for everyone that we can possibly. Give them what they paid for, and maybe it's not always scaring people. Being a good character is always about just having fun with the guests and making the guests have fun. And Napalm and I see this little old lady in a wheelchair and her husband pushing her along, and we both look at each other with the biggest shit-eating grins I think we could have came up with, and read each other's minds that we wanted to fuck with this handicapped lady in a wheelchair. We're going to hell, but
she just had that look. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, and I get it. Like, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. But like, people don't like to give an experience to people who are elderly.
Yes.
Only thing I will say I do not do is scare small children.
Yes,
I don't believe
I'm
in
against scaring
children,
small children. Yeah.
But as in the handicap or elderly is,
Love scaring them.
Scaring them, but you know,
Scaring
you got to
having a good
learn
time.
what to do and what not to do, because you don't want to come into a group and you just drop the whole group.
You got to learn how to read them.
But what me and Skunk over here preach a lot to a lot of people when they come ask us for advice is you can't scare everybody, but you can entertain everyone.
Exactly.
And we kind of seen on this older lady's face that, you know,
she was not having it.
People weren't interacting with her.
No, she was very bored and looked sad.
She just looked like she just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you finish the
story here. So Napalm and I, you know, saw this sad, unfortunate case happening, and you know, as most sliders do, we thought, how can we possibly make this night better for this lady, good or bad, you know? And we came up to her and we're trying to think of what we could possibly do, and tried to study her wheelchair there for a little bit, because you know we're monsters, we don't know what things are. We've, you know, demons and all that, and we're checking out this wheelchair, and we get this genius idea, you know, of pit crewing her wheels just randomly. So Napalm gets down and, you know, starts getting down there with the little impact, all over her tires. You know, this lady's staring at him like he's lost his mind. Like, she thinks he is stupid, lost his shit. Like, She was more entertained by like trying to figure out what was happening than probably anything else that night. And I come creeping over, and she notices me, and she realizes, she's like, oh boy, there's a second one. What is gonna happen now?
She was in for it.
And I come up, you know, and I slowly just motion her husband to step off to the side a little bit, and I start studying the wheelchair while Napalm's, you know, acting like he's impacting her wheels off.
We're doing a tire change, fueling her up. We're getting her ready for that last lap.
I stick that fuel jug right up on there, and I start pumping her full of fuel, start doing the glug-glugs and everything, and her husband catches wind of what's going on here, and I do a little Art the Clown motion towards the husband for him to come over, and he grabs the back of that wheelchair. I look at Napalm, and I'm like, she ready to go? And Napalm was like, yes, sir. And we were like, send her off. And, you know, we start doing the lap thing with our hands, saying, go, 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 go. Husband takes off, probably fastest this man's run in 50 years, just running down I Street, this long stretch, just straight away, packed full of people, you know, hundreds, thousands of people on this straightaway. And he is cutting and weaving through this crowd. Napalm and I just running alongside of him, just screaming and hooting and hollering. Lady had the biggest grin on her face, and you know, at the end of the night, she said it was the most fun she's ever had, and she didn't think anyone was ever going to do that with her. And you know, it's moments like that you know, make it memorable. It doesn't always have to be a scare. You know, you can interact with the guests and give them the time of their lives, and in other ways, just talking to someone.
Yeah, I mean, she came up to us at the end of the night, thanked us, gave us both a hug, and she almost borderline tears.
Oh yeah,
enjoyment.
It was a touching moment. It made me break character for sure.
I broke, and you know, she kind of told us that it was an awesome job that we did, and that we made her weekend, because she came both nights. And
she did.
Friday night, it was one of the Friday-Saturday weekend. Friday night, she didn't get messed with, and Saturday night, kind of same thing. They didn't mess with her, and you know,
she kind of topped it off for her.
Topped it off for her, and you know, I hope she's doing well. I haven't seen her since that day, but I hope she's doing well.
I'm sure she's still floating around the park.
I'm sure her
every
husband,
haunt. I'm sure she's on the lookout.
Keeps her going. Her husband was a character.
He was a character.
He was there for it.
He had that personality. He was ready for it.
Once he got into what we were doing and realized this is a NASCAR pit stop, he was on it.
He had the biggest smile. He was joining in on that one.
Yeah, he was.
It's
just as stuff simple as that. Like, you ain't gotta be the scariest, craziest monster out there, but if you can make someone's weekend memorable, you've done your job.
Yeah. If you're a new scare actor, definitely take notes on that for sure. Try it out this upcoming season, and you know, see how it is. If you're not enjoying being scary, you know, try to make people laugh. Try to just make it a good time. You know, even though you're a monster, you don't always have to be scary. I mean, someone I absolutely love and adore, and I think Napalm does too, and Coney, still there, still going strong, is Twinkles. Twinkles absolutely loves making people smile. Her character is all bubbly until you piss her off, of course.
Yeah, don't piss her off.
Yeah, don't piss her off. She's a big, sparkly clown, with big old fangs and some scary contacts. She absolutely loves kids, dances with them, does little airplanes with them. But those 13-year-old teenagers coming up to her and wanting to pick a fight.
No, she'll lay the law down.
I tell you, I've never seen some kids run faster than Twinkle's chasing them. She is terrifying when she's mad.
No, you get old Brett going too.
Oh yeah, you get Brett going.
You better just go ahead and call the law.
You hear that megaphone screeching?
It's over. Yeah, if you get the megaphone going, you might as well just pack it up, go home for the night.
Oh yeah.
But no, those were great times.
Yeah,
great times.
Yeah. And scary, I guess kind of scary, or kind of just, fucking around was USS Nightmare,
Extreme Nights.
Napalm and I on Extreme Night. Yeah.
Wow.
For those who don't know, USS Nightmare, it's a boat haunt. You're actually on a barge in Cincinnati. It's a pretty cool haunt. You should check it out if you've never been there before. But at the end of their seasons, they do Extreme Nights where it's all hands on. 18 plus, of course, and once you get in there, you can...
it's free game.
It's free game. You get thrown around, you get shit, like, not literal shit, but shit thrown on you. Sometimes it could be literal shit. Who knows what is on that boat. You got Fred walking around. That's a 15-year-old dead fish that they freeze and thaw every year, and it smells. You know when Fred's coming.
Yeah, if you can have the privilege of smelling Fred,
you will smell him. I promise you.
It takes about 3-4 days to get it out of your sinuses. Like once Fred's around, he's around.
He'll be under your nose. Believe it or not, he'll be on your face. You get Fred coming at you. You're hiding. That's all I can recommend.
Yeah, Fred's scary enough the way it is.
Oh yeah, and Napalm and I had the privilege of guest acting there, and we've done it every year since about 2 years ago, and. It's a blast. They don't know how to control us. Our energy is too much for them to handle. Just this year alone, we were blasting Napoleon from Suicide Boys as loud as possible, and threw a massive dildo, probably about 20 inches on the ground, and we were spinning in a circle, worshipping it, listening to Suicide Boys, and these higher ups called the Clown Posse. They come around to fuck with the actors, and they try to get you going for the night. They didn't know what to do with us. They cracked the door open, took one look in, and the door is slowly closed, and we didn't see them for the rest of the
night. We got a smile. Yep, watch these two, and that was about all we got.
Yeah, they didn't have to really do anything with us that night.
We ain't gonna do nothing so stupid, but we know our limits. But it's talking about Extreme Night, you take two street actors who when you're on the street,
peak energy.
You got to be on
liquid meth. You got to be on the liquid meth. You got to be on the liquid meth.
I'm saying you have to be. Your character has to be on from the moment you step out from behind the scenes. It's no
Game
like
on.
In a room you get a break. There's a gap. There's a 15-20 second. It depends on how busy you are that night. Gap between groups. Whenever you're on the street. Eyes are on you.
Yeah, you ain't got a break when you're on the street.
All the time. Go. So you take two guys who, whenever they're matching energy, there's no peak or top or to their energy. It just keeps going and going and going. And sometimes
at the end of the season too.
Oh, this is
our haunt ended. So we were in that post haunt depression, and a week later we got the chance to do this. So you already know our energy was sky high.
This is all season long. It's like the moment me and him hit the street, and and once we read the crowd and read what we can go and do, and it's
crazy. It's something else to see. If
the energy
I really recommend
it's
it.
hard too much, and that's why me and Skunk running together is that we can't. There are people that can match our energy, but there aren't people that can match our energy.
The dynamic, the shit we come up with, just our characters, how they play off each other, it's too good. The reasoning behind our names, for Skunk, most people are going to be like, what the fuck, how do you get the name Skunk? And, we don't choose these names either. We get named by our group, at least in the Slider community. It's really a big tradition.
Like names in general. You don't really...
You don't get to pick
Very rare occasions you can name yourself. It's every name I've gotten other than Phyllis. I have been named
Fuck Phyllis.
Fuck Phyllis, first off. Phyllis, if you're out there, suck it. Yeah. So like every other name I've gotten, someone else has named me.
Yeah. Usually it's
So
by
usually
group
how it
vote.
goes. Usually it's in your group or
Yeah.
in the area that you're in that year or the house you're in that year. Usually it's within the first couple weekends you got a name.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had multiple names as a slider, and my most recent one being Skunk, and the reason for that is
Because you stink.
yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
exactly
He
what
drops
you could think.
ass and stinks. That's
They all started, having some shitting competitions basically in our break room in our
talking
green
to
room.
you, Zach.
Yeah. Zach over there acting silent but deadly, won't say a word to you, but then you'll just hear him rip ass in the corner and gets the big smile across his face. But
Yeah, I mean,
we started gassing each other out, and the deadliest one of them all was me. So you got Skunk.
it's
And
almost like his defense mechanism
It is, yeah.
he'll get in a group.
hey, when the broccoli comes running, I fire that skunk spray at him, and they turn around real quick.
He'll be in a group of people and then doing his guest interaction because me and him are very big into guest interaction. The bigger
Love it.
crowd we got, the better we are.
The bigger the better.
And it gets to a point sometimes of, hey, we need to get out of this group.
Yes.
And his defense mechanism kicks in, and he doesn't hide it, and he doesn't try to hide it. He just rips ass.
I rip ass and I disappear, and if they want to stick around and smell it, that's
all them.
power to them, But every time, it does not take long. I sit there with the smile, and it takes about 5 seconds for someone to say, "What the fuck is that smell?" And they all go running. I mean that. It reminds me back into the break room. We had a girl waiting on the bathroom. And,
I was wondering the story was going to come up.
Napalm can say this one.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your seatbelts on because this man.
We love fucking with our fellow actors. We
It's
cannot
all
get enough
it's
of
all
it.
out of respect.
Everyone is on the hit list. No one is safe at our haunt.
It is all out of respect. All fun and games. We don't. Everything we say or do is not meant. Yeah, at the end of the day, like me and him will be the first ones to have y'all's back. If you need us, like if we've done it before, and we'll do it until
I'll
the day.
take a bullet for any of those scare actors there. And there's
100.
been some nights when we thought that might have been the case, and as most haunts are, you get those threats
You get
coming
some
in.
scary
and
nights. I mean,
you get
that's
scary nights, but Napalm and I, we're out on the road looking to beat some ass if someone's making threats.
I'll put my body on the line before I let someone else come get me.
We've pulled actors off, or we've pulled guests off of actors and shit, and thrown them out of the park. We take matters into our own hands when it comes
that's
to
a personal matter to me. It's not everybody can protect the little guy,
Yeah, exactly.
and if I see the little guy getting picked on, then I'm gonna
We're gonna
I'm
fuck 'em
stepping
up,
in.
yeah.
So back to our story here. We are in So Sad break room, and the poor girl was in line for the bathroom, and for some
A
reason,
tragic tale.
yeah, tragic tale. I don't think she's ever recovered. She probably needs counseling, honestly.
She definitely needs therapy.
Yeah, so she was trying to interact with me and old Skunk over here, and sometimes me and him have a very hard time with turning off our character when we are backstage. It's kind of one of the deals, once we're on and we're locked in. And she came over trying to interact, and
It didn't go the way that she wanted it to. We'll say that.
Skunk proceeds to jump up in the air,
Do a 180.
do a 180, shits, and by shits, I mean I'm pretty sure he had to go wipe his ass after this because it was god-awful, in this poor girl's face. And, I mean, it's approximately within a 2-foot radius.
She about beat my ass.
Yeah, she
She was
wasn't
so
the
bad.
happiest about things, but she understands that it was a joke. Should we shit in people's face? No, I don't recommend it. But for some reason, that night, So Said fart in a girl's face decided that it was going to stink very bad. Very, very, very much bad.
As soon as this happened, her reaction was,
Her jaw hits the floor and proceeds to, what the fuck? And
I'm on the ground crying with laughter.
I've never
I had to
laughed
get
so
out of there
hard.
so
Like, I
quick.
couldn't breathe. She's yelling at us, but it's all in good fun, and she understands it's in good fun. And it's every bit of a minute.
The best part of it was about
I'm getting
2 minutes later.
I'm getting the mark.
Yeah.
It's a minute and 2 minutes. I'm on the ground still, can't breathe. Like
We're both crying.
I'm
laughing.
borderline dead at this point. Like what this man just did, and the noise that just
The poor girl.
noise that just came out of this man. It's if you don't know what Skunk looks like, he's a 6 foot, skinny little guy who can put away the food.
Oh yeah.
And his favorite spot is Cornerstone, and
Oh yeah, that blender just turns on. It's done.
And you add running around all night and sliding, and it really just blends it up.
Banquet is not safe.
No, banquet's not safe. But yeah, about 2 minutes later, after So said fart.
Yeah,
Mario, one of our sliders last year, walks out.
Opens
What's
the door.
going? Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
What's that smell? And then he proceeds to see me and Skunk on the ground, and so that girl's still yelling at us because break room was gashed.
We explained the situation to Mario, Mr. Hangover, and he starts bursting out laughing, and one after the other, the rest of the sliders come out of that room along with a couple clowns, and it just snowballed from there.
What's going? Oh my God! Oh, next person walks out. Hey guys! Oh my God!
What is that smell?
I mean, it was just.
And it lingered. That cloud had to be sitting there for a solid probably 2 minutes. I thought it was gone until Mario opened that door and said that shit, and it just set Napalm and I off again.
Yeah, I don't know how we haven't got one of your farts to actually shoot a flame yet, but we're gonna
happen.
We're gonna figure that out.
It's gonna happen.
With my sparks and your gas, it's bound to happen.
She told me, at banquet, final night, telling everyone goodbye and everything. She came up to me and she said, "I still remember how bad that fart stunk. I will never forget that smell."
Yeah, that was a rough one.
But I mean, all I gotta say, you're pulling up on Skunk. You better watch out because you're gonna get the spray.
You better come up with a cork or a gas mask.
You never know what's going to happen. I mean, I might get some fart spray this year, and if I can't deploy my own, you already know it's going to be getting deployed on someone.
Hey, shout out to Brett again.
No one's safe.
She's got my scent. She bought my scent for me at Transworld of my gasoline. Smell, so I am now going to be smelling like gasoline.
And that goes into Napalm. Why is named Big Old Napalm over here?
Why is Napalm named Napalm?
A slider named Napalm does not sound like a good mix right off the bat.
Napalm is not just really a name.
Lifestyle.
We'll just go back to personal before we get to Napalm. I have always been intrigued by fire and sparks.
Arsonist over here.
Pretty much. As Mom used to catch me all the time with a box of matches, just lighting matches, watching them burn out, and light the next one.
I will say we have that in common. Because I was back in Boy Scouts, very far off tangent,
So, I mean, still to this day is like we're out camping or something, and I'm the fire guy. Everybody, my family knows me as the fire guy. So I wanted to kind of, bring that in with my character. I mean, with my sliding character, I wanted to go all out, and he's still evolving.
Oh, yeah.
And
more fire every year. Napalm
it's me, but no longer filtered.
Yeah. Went from a baby flame to just wildfire.
It's an engulfed flame, but shout out to Rich. He's the one who named me because I came into sliding, and usually whenever I would go to different zones or houses, I didn't want to keep the same name. But now the way I have evolved Napalm is a shape-shifting demon. Yeah. Where he can be in any house, any zone, any character, and it's always going to be Napalm, just in different forms. Napalm's no longer on the outside; he's on the inside.
It matches that theme.
But Cam and my first year sliding is most of the sliders had sparks, yes, but
not very many. They had the basic.
It was like pretty much still washers and single flint sticks, and I came in rocking an absurd size flint puck on my gloves.
Yeah, that thing is.
Which I kind of kept a secret there for a while. I had made a practice pair of subs for tryouts and for dry run night. So opening night when we come out, I have flint, fire steel all over my hands, all over my palms and fingertips, and I got sandpaper on my shirt and on my gloves and everything. And sun finally drops, and I brought them out because now's the time. I didn't want to do it with the sun's up where you really can't see it, and we were back in this dark corner. And there's a queue line there for the ride called the Beast, and they had the lights turned down pretty good. And it was about a group of 20. It was a very large group, and I went right through the middle of them, and it looked like someone shined a spotlight in the middle of this group, and it leveled this group because they were all seeing smaller sparks, and I come through with these massive, and my gloves are very heavy. I don't have light gloves, so the noise.
And they bulgy. You can hear them coming.
Yeah, the noise of my hands hitting the ground and the sparks to follow. And Rich and Skunk both seen this, and they were trying to think of my slider name, and I stood up, and it was instantly from Rich, is "You're Napalm." It rhymes with your real name, and you just went through that group, and there were sparks flying everywhere, and you are now Napalm.
And it got voted in, and
So they got
agreed.
second and third throughout the sliding group that year, and it's Napalm just evolved from there, and he's still evolving as the amount of sparks that are coming up this upcoming year that I have plans for.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
It is going to be a little absurd and borderline dangerous, but
We're trying to start a fire.
fuck it, we bought last year. Last year I did.
Yeah, we did.
I slid.
I
Me
remember.
and Skunk went through a leaf pile, not really knowing it was there, but it's kind of one of the things to watch your surroundings. Yeah, he was behind me, and I slid through the leaves
Lit
because
that shit up.
the leaves started to amber up, and they started to smoke a little bit. And
That would have been a fun one to explain to Holly.
that would have been a great one to explain. Yeah, so I look back, and there is Skunk stomping on these leaves. So my dumbass comes over and starts stomping the leaves too. Like, hey, what are we doing? He goes, dumbass, you just lit the pile of leaves on fire. But it's controlled.
Yeah, controlled.
Controlled. And then the park introduced us to the what was my prototype, but someone out there in the world perfected it before I did. Which props to them, because I was on something. The sparking kneecaps.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We did want to do that, and then someone else beat us to it.
But I mean, props to you guys, because they are phenomenal.
They are great.
They're
very bright.
Very bright. Very bright. They shot the idea that I was shooting for.
If you haven't seen them yet, I would definitely look into them, especially if you're a slider. Sparking kneecaps. You can get them. It's a thing. They work really,
you want to
really
spend
good.
the money. I mean, they're worth it, and I still have 3 sets, and I've yet to burn through it.
Oh, yeah. They're really good, really good. I wish we could have more, honestly.
Yeah, hopefully this year they get us some more. But yeah, Napalm and
Skunk.
Napalm and Skunk, you get the two together. It's
unhinged energy. I'm always climbing on shit as well. So another half of my name is crawling on the ground, crawling on tables, smelling people.
I'm telling you, we are getting the caramel apples this
Those
year.
caramel apples, I was just thinking about it.
Oh,
I will steal a caramel apple this year.
So while we're talking about
so good.
while we're talking about me and you, it's up there. My top 5 group scares from me and you is when we went up to, what do we call it, the bog. What do we call it?
Oh yeah.
What did we call it? We had a certain name for it. I'll think
Yeah,
of it.
we did.
We were adventuring
Slider Alley.
Slider Alley.
Yeah.
It's very foggy, and it is a beautiful zone to slide in with the fog and the lights, and
Gorgeous.
Not really. There's no really. There's a couple people in ghillie suits, but
straight away smooth brick.
Yep, and people are not expecting actors to be there. And me and you came from over by the bathrooms where when people look that way, they're getting spotlighted, so they can't see what's coming through the spotlight.
Yeah.
And me and you both hit the ground at the same time and then stood up at the same time, inches away from the guest. And so said guest proceeds to run, jump off the bench, and into the bushes.
I do remember that. She ate shit.
Ate shit. And then proceed to get up from the bush to try to jump out of the bush and falls into the other bush.
And then got scared again
And then
when
got
she
scared
tried to run away.
And at this point, I'm concerned. And
I thought she was done for the rest of the night.
Not just for her safety, but for the landscaping crew that has to come the next morning and fix these bushes, because it was not just one bush. It was
destroyed.
4 bushes that this lady is trying to run through.
The poor flower beds.
Just destroyed. But that's one of my favorites. That one stood out last year.
That was a great one.
Other than I flipped the power wheelchair, but that's that was bad.
Now, have you ever hit anyone sliding? Have you ever crashed into some people?
Can I plead the fifth? No, I'll be honest. I don't care. I'll be honest. No.
No.
I've not.
I have.
Let me finish. Let me fucking finish. People have ran into me.
That is, yeah. That is fair.
It is. I have shot gaps. I can stand up within inches. We've trained very hard to do what we can do.
We do.
But is
We got
I
probably
will,
one of the biggest, like most rigorous training programs out there, I will say.
It's pretty intense. But I don't know who it was. It might have been Zach. We were up at Main Gate, and I slid in front of this group. Not really close. I mean, there was about 2 foot gap in between
I think I
us.
remember this.
Yep.
And it closed the gap on you, right?
Yeah, so Zach slid behind this. I mean, there's a group of, teen girls and guys. Like, the guys are being hard asses, and the girls are, they're scared, but they don't want to admit it.
As usual.
So me and Zach didn't plan this, and it turned into a clusterfuck really fucking fast. So I take off, and I shoot in front of him. Well, at the same time, Zach's behind him, and Zach had the spark knee pads on the night, and I did not. I had my normal Eternals on, and the sparks made them it's a group of eight people. The whole group sprint forward. Well, I'm forward.
The reaction
There
doesn't make too
is
much sense
two
sometimes.
options for me. Is you bail out, or you kind of cover your head because this shit's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So I took the 2 options and I made it into 1 option, and I bailed out and covered my head. And next thing you know, I have 8 people laying on top of me.
We are trained to bail as well. So we know how to take someone to the ground if we have to in the safe way. So
yeah, I made sure my head was safe first, but that's not in our training. But yeah, so no, I wrapped this. She 13, 14-year-old up. I scooped her up so that way she didn't break her teeth on the concrete.
yeah.
And she came down on top of me, and the rest of the group came down on top of us. And the first thing I see is security.
Oh yeah.
I look up. He looks at me. He giggles. I kind of hit him with a little smirk, like, get these fucking people off of me.
Yeah.
And they
They
get
like
off
to
of
leave
me.
there.
And that was pretty much it, as they stood up and proceeded to run out of Main Gate.
Yeah.
And they were no longer allowed in the park because they chickened out. And the security, we made sure I was good. And he's like, do we need to file a report? I said, nope. Is everybody good? I said, well, they're leaving, so I'm assuming they're good. I'm good. And that was probably the worst, one of the worst accidents I've been in, but I have not hit anybody.
True. Mine was kind of 50-50. I had one incident, it was first night ever on the street sliding, and I had a lady up at Main Gate, and if you've never been to Kings Island, right in front of, right behind the gate when you first walk in is this really smooth brick. You gotta be careful because
Lovely.
it's very slippery, but it's so nice to slide on, and we train on this stuff all the time, so we're pretty used to it, and we know how to stop on a dime, and especially now, Napalm and I mean, we can gauge everything. Like, we essentially just run autopilot calculations in our brains, and we can calculate exactly how fast and right when we need to stop to the T with no issues. And this one lady was trying to wait on her family, and she's like standing still, and I go for a slide up towards her, and she takes 1 step towards me, and just impact right there. And I was going slow enough because I was trying to be careful, knowing that she could take a step at any moment, and it ended up happening. And I just hugged her legs like a tree and just looked up at her and just smiled, and she just said, "Oh, hello there," and I just got up and crawled away on all 4s and making noises at her and disappeared. And that was really the only time that I've ever made contact with anyone. But
I mean, it happens.
it's gonna happen sometimes.
It's going to happen. I mean, my toes have gone across other people's toes. Like,
yeah.
But as in taking a collision? No.
Yeah,
but
like full on taking someone down.
No, like it's going to, every slider will do it. It's,
it'll happen eventually. If you
it's
just
not a matter
gotta
of
be safe.
if, it's when.
Yeah.
But it's what you gotta be trained to know what to do in that moment.
And it might not always be your fault, But many times with a collision, guests, there's so much going on. They're scared. They're running. They're having fun, and we're on our knees. We're lower than waist height sometimes, especially with me. I slide as close to the ground as I can. I'm on all 4s. My body is
stealthy
as
little fucker.
flat as possible. Like Napalm said before, I'm a 6-foot dude, so you get probably not even a foot sliding at you, and then standing up, just like towering over you. People are People
Especially
are
with
moving and
that,
everything.
With that beautiful orange wig you wore on the final weekend, that was,
My little clown hair.
your
that
little
I
clown
had
hair,
ripping
and
on
the
there.
hat, it had another
The
6
hat
inches.
I was looking real tall.
Yeah, it was kind of,
People didn't know what to think on that
that was
one.
a linky one.
It was. And, jumping in that, too.
Oh,
Woo.
yeah.
That was crazy.
That was
Jumping
Props.
5 people with that.
5. Yeah, you did 5 that night, I did 4.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was crazy. I lost my hat, halfway through the jump. That thing went flying off, but I didn't care about that. We had to put on a show. And, if you don't know, Kings Island Haunt, at the end of every night, closing ceremony, the Sliders put on a closing show. And it's a stunt show, kind of like Decade Brigade. Shout out to them. Do a little bit of a show of tricks and whatnot. And it's a pretty big event. I'm sure it's on YouTube by now, or it's at least on the social media page.
Not saying we're the pros by no means, but for what we got,
Definitely not. What we got is decent.
For what we got for our little 5-minute show, I feel like we do a damn good
We
job.
could definitely learn. I would absolutely love if Decade would want to do a meetup, a collab with our group sometime, and run some ideas.
Any group. I'm
yeah,
always down to
any
meet. I mean,
group.
any other actors.
Yeah, knots, anything, even a small haunt. It doesn't matter. Sliders,
No, we meet up.
wherever.
We'll do whatever you want to do. Like,
Yeah.
well, if you guys need help, we'll train you. If not,
Oh yeah.
if you guys were pretty comfortable, I mean, we can shoot the shit and go slide in the park somewhere.
Yeah, I love training people.
But that's the
and giving them help.
only two characters you've been in is Coney and.
Yeah, Coney and sliding.
Yeah, you lucky
That's
little,
it.
you lucky little shit.
I had Pyro and Coney, and that's just because my first night, back to everyone being awkward and shit. I told one of the long-term returners there that how to build a sparkler bomb. So and he was like, all right, well, your name's Pyro, short for pyrotechnics. I told him you duct tape about 1,000 sparklers together, and you light one of them, it turns into a big old fountain. A pretty big torch if you've never seen one. It's all over YouTube. I recommend doing it sometime on July 4th or whenever if you got the property to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a great time, but that's how I got my name, Pyro, and Skunk has already been said, so that's sometimes names are just given to you, and it's very rare that you actually get to pick your own name and it sticks.
and don't be mad about your name. No,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's something that comes and goes.
I promise you that there's worse names. If you
Yeah.
get a bad name, I'm sure there's worse.
Yeah, a lot of people will end up getting names at out on the streets, and sometimes people get names at scare actor training and dry run like we were talking about, and
It can come at any moment. It can be the first weekend, it can be the final weekend, but I'm sure it's coming.
it'll come, yeah. And but I think that just about wraps up this episode, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for this time. I mean,
Yeah, and on episode 2, we're gonna deep dive a little bit more into behind the scenes of scare actor training, character building, a little bit more into our audition process and kind of what to expect, and just bonding, with the people that you get in contact with or that stick with you through the whole phase, how to make your group tight and turn it into a family and pass that threshold of it being a job into being a hangout with some of the closest people that you're ever gonna deal with. And after that, episode 3, we're planning on talking about deep diving into sliding, and we'll have a special guest hopefully on that one. And I think the viewers will love that one. He's a very popular guy. He's blown up on social media recently, so
yeah.
we hope it'll be a good session with him.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear anything, feel free to DM us. Our Instagram is SliderCast13.
Yep.
It is a picture of the Napalm and the Skunk himself.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, if you guys want to hear anything specific or have any questions for us, feel free to reach out. We would do the best that we can to answer.
DMs or anything for sure.
Yep.
If it goes from building equipment to just tips about scare acting, or really anything about the haunt community, we would absolutely love to follow it up, and we hope to keep pumping out episodes not only about haunt and what we do, but we're gonna get some guest stars in here that do makeup, SFX designs, haunt management, pretty much anything you can think of within the haunt community, to owning a haunt, to running a haunt, to just acting in a haunt. We're planning on getting all those people, as many as we possibly can. Some figures that are well known, some figures that not as well known, but prominent figures in the haunts that we work for and have had the privilege of working with. USS Nightmare, Land of Illusion, and Kings Island. We're always doing stuff for them and hoping that we can continue doing that, and hopefully we can get out to a couple more haunts in the future and guest act other places.
Yeah, we are always done a good guest act. So if there's any other haunts out there that want us to come out and try guest acting for a couple nights, we'll come out and we'll give it what we got.
Yeah, for sure. But with that one, I believe that wraps it up, and we're gonna see you guys on the next one.
See ya.
Skunk is out.
Napalm.
See ya.